we'll talk more about structure in week 6, I believe. But I want to, since we're talking about discipleship, how we become more like Jesus, I want to talk today about the learning, educational, transforming aspect of that strategy. So the main strategy used by churches to develop disciples is a worship service on Sunday morning, which includes a teaching, which is a monologue from an expert to transfer knowledge about the Bible to the audience, picking out some points to make applicable on how the people could apply the scripture to their own lives. This style of learning, just putting it bluntly, is not very effective. In any type of educational setting, this kind of learning, the lecture method, has a pretty limited retention rate. In this type of learning but in the type of learning that we're talking about, especially in discipleship, where the desired outcome is changed behavior and character and increased competency of skills, it's even worse. So let me share something with you. All right, so I'm showing a pyramid that I found from the Institute of Applied Behavioral Science. It's called the Learning Pyramid, and it shows these different methods of learning, starting with lecture at the top, which is expected based on studies and observed experience. People can be expected to retain about 5% of what they learn in the lecture format, and that's after about, I believe, 2 weeks. 2 weeks, they have about 5% retention. And as you go down the pyramid, the retention rates increase as you go to people actually reading things themselves, having audiovisual things to get, different senses involved, demonstration, which is actually modeling, what you want people to do and how you want them to behave. And this is where I would say discipleship actually begins, is in this modeling stage, which is still only 30% retention or effectiveness. Then you go down and include discussion between people, what they're learning, talk about it, how does it apply to them in a real specific way. Then go into practice, people actually practicing what they're learning, 75% retention. And then the ultimate, teaching others, where you retain 90% of what you've learned.